Today we will talk about another design used in pharmacoepidemiology, which is ecological studies. Learning objectives. Learn the basic concept of ecological study. What is ecological study? An ecological study is an observational study defined by the level at which data are analyzed, namely at the population or group level rather than individual level. Previously, we mentioned different study designs. All of them were based on individual level. However, a major difference in ecological study is it's based on population level data, group level data. So basically, ecological studies focus on comparison of groups, not individuals. Types of measurement. We have three major types of measurements at the group level: aggregate data, environmental data, global measures. Aggregate data summarizes of individual measures. For example, proportion of smokers, average of antibiotic use in certain ward, um, seasonal flu vaccination rate among cities in Jordan. Environmental, it's based on physical characteristic of a place in which member of each group live. For example, hours of sunlight in the west compared on the east. Air pollution, places living next to certain uranium factories. Global measures, attributes for groups for which there is no individual analog. For example, population density, level of social disorganization. Ecological studies foundations. To assess the correlation between a presumed risk factor and an outcome, mean value of the outcome are plotted against mean value of the factor using groups as units of observation. And this is again the major difference of ecological studies. Then groups can be defined by place or time. So we have geographical comparisons and also we can have temporal trends. This is an example of the relationship between salt and systolic blood pressure among centers. So each unit represents the average, the mean and standard error of each center. So here, these data were based on individual data that are aggregated and then summarized per each center. So the unit of comparison here, I'm comparing centers. Also, this is another example. So daily salt intake, systolic blood pressure based on countries. So each dot represents the country. So I'm comparing not the origin is individual data that were aggregated based on and then grouped to a country level. This is the major difference of ecological studies.